back, CP24 Breakfast Weekend. Doesn't that make you salivate? Certainly makes me salivate, makes Jamie salivate. Pooja, she'll...
Not so much.
She'll get through this. Vegetarian, meatitarians. Vegetarian, meatitarians. We're joined now by Ben Murphy from Sticky Fingers Barbecue and Company. And again, you are...
Kenzie.
Kenzie, thank you so much for being here, guys. Happy Canada Day.
Thank you very much.
It's really tough to concentrate right now. That's all I have to say. You can smell this. It's delicious.
Well, we should say you guys aren't Canadian, but what you have actually done for us in terms of your dad sort of laying down the roots for, I guess, ribbing here in Toronto and in Canada. Tell us a little bit about that history.
Well, it all started probably around 1993. My dad got in touch with one of the Rotaries, which that's what's going on here at Centennial. All this stuff that we do is always... it's always for a good cause, and it's raising money for charities, and of course all the Rotarians, we really appreciate them. And my dad, he got this thing started, and the Rotarians got on board, and it just spread from city to city to city, and now we do it all over Canada.
So we can say thank you for Ribfest. One of my favorite events. Thanks to your dad for bringing Ribfest to us. So tell us a little bit about Sticky Fingers and what makes you guys unique compared to all the other ribbers out there.
Well, of course, the experience and my mom's recipes, I would have to say. I didn't give all of those up, you know.
But you know they always say never trust a skinny chef.
That's right.
But you told me yesterday when we were talking off air, that's not always the case.
No way. I mean, we have to stay up 16, sometimes 16, 18 hours a day trying to feed the people with this food. So if you come by my booth and you see me eating an apple, I'm just trying to stay in shape where I can serve you the food.
And I think you sweat it out, you know, because you're in the hot sun, you're behind the grill, you probably, you know, you eat, meat sweats right out of your pores.
Now, I understand you're going to be throwing an apron on one of us. We're actually going to be getting our hands a little sticky.
Oh, you say one of us.
Well.
Wink, wink. You're like, me.
Pretty much. I just want to get closer to the grill.
Yes.
If I've got to wear an apron to do that, let's do it.
Okay, so you probably have some tips for him, right? What
Well,
does he need to know?
I got a few tips.
Maybe leave the blazer at home.
Well, step over to the grill if you want.
And Ben, once again, you're from, he's from LA, by the way. Lower Alabama.
Lower Alabama.
I was going to say, it doesn't sound like an LA twang. All right.
Okay, so what does Gurdeep need to know when he goes and stands over this grill?
Well, the first thing you need to know is you see the little bubbles coming up on the rib here? What I always do, and usually do, is I leave my ribs dry, and when I'm heating them, and of course the ribs are cooked all the way before we even put them on the barbecue in the smoker.
Okay.
So what I do is I try to heat one side of the rib until it bubbles. You'll see the little bubbles coming up.
Okay.
And then when you see that, you flip it to the other side, and you'll see the bubbling coming out.
It's like a pancake almost. You see it bubbling, that's when you flip it over.
That's it.
Okay.
Now, a lot of guys who make ribs, they like to boil them. Do you guys boil?
I've always been not a big fan of boiling ribs because what it does is it boils the flavor right out of the meat.
That's what the ribbers told me last year.
Yep.
And I always found it interesting because everyone's kind of have their own style. A lot of people boil them and then they throw them on the grill. But you guys, no, you just get right to the grill. Oh, look at that.
We pull it right out of the smoker.
And don't be shy on the barbecue sauce.
Let me ask you, how liberal are you with this sauce? Is it like more the better? Do you just sort of freehand it, or
the more the better. This is what we actually apply the sauce with, so that gives you an idea.
That looks like what I dust my home with.
There, scratch your back, whatever. So yeah, usually at the barbecue festival, you'll see a little bit of different setup than we have here. We'll have a big pan here, and it would just dip this right into the pan, and then and smear this right onto the ribs. So.
Woo! Oh man, that is so good. Saucy. This is pretty much what I dreamed about last night.
But the sounds that are coming out of you two right now, you don't even know you're doing. As you're talking, you're like, oh, wow.
This is one of those segments where I forget we're on television.
You guys know I love to barbecue. There's something about a man in front of a barbecue.
With an apron on.
He's got the smoke, he's got the grill, he's got the spatula, the brush. It's all about a man being in his zone.
Well, then let me ask you, can anybody grill? I mean, is it that simple?
What does it take to be the king of the grill?
Well, I tell you, anybody can grill. Like my dad always told me one time, I remember one of his famous sayings was, anyone can paint. It's just how neat of a painter you are. So,
your daddy was a wise man.
He's a very wise man. I could write a whole quotation book on Larry Murphy.
I remember interviewing him last year. The guy is the coolest cat, by the way.
All right, well, we'll let you continue doing your magic here. You guys keep drooling. In the meantime, we want to take you back to the sounds, the sweet sounds here. We heard from John earlier. You told us about your story. You wrote this beautiful song. Take us to break with it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Smells great.
And speaking of rib sauce, we are live out to the parking lot with the king and the jester of the grill, Jamie Goodfreund and Ben Murphy. We'll let you figure out who's who. Jamie.
I didn't even want to leave to go back up to the weather patio. I'm like, I'm going to hang out next to the ribs. And my man, Ben Murphy. But by the way, Sticky Fingers is cooking up ribs down at Ribfest, and they've expanded Ribfest a little bit. So they're actually at the beginning. When you walk in, go taste them. They are delicious. Yummy sauce, by the way, Ben. Thank you very much for serving that up. Let's talk about your weather forecast for today and over the next couple of days. We're going to see beautiful stuff.
It happens to be Mark Hogg and his whole family here. They're here in town for Ribfest, which is taking over at the 401 Centennial Park, 401-427 area this entire weekend. Hey, good morning, Mark. Sorry to interrupt. Hi, Blake.
Yeah, good to see you.
Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Okay, so obviously you're the rib man.
I am the rib man.
Okay, tell me about this, because apparently, as we can see, if you can take a look over here, Pat, award-winning rib man.
Yeah, you
for the
go
record.
look at that. We'll chat while you look at all the awards over there. All right, first thing, you're from Daytona Beach, Florida. At least that's where you came up from. Where are you originally from?
Originally from Hamilton.
Oh, in this area?
Yeah, we moved down to Texas about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And started to see some real barbecue down there.
Yeah.
Moved over to Florida and realized there was a whole circuit of rib competitions, cook-off competitions.
Yeah.
And we absolutely fell in love with it. So we started doing it as a family. You know, we do a couple of events down there, and then once the kids are out of school, we head up here and do a whole circuit, get to spend time with family. It's phenomenal.
Okay,
Okay, what's the secret? Yeah, we need to get the secret.
No, wait, get the family first. Make sure
Why don't we bring the whole family in? Everyone's off camera here.
Exactly what they
Blake, and
wanted.
who else is with you?
It's my wife, Robin.
Hi, Robin.
Hi, Robin.
Robin, sorry, I'll just go over here. Okay, so Robin, what is your function other than encouragement?
I run the whole thing.
Ah, there we go.
She's in charge. No, I'm just kidding.
She is the brains behind it.
He's like a back house. He takes care of all the food and the prep work, and then I'm out front making sure that service and the line is moving and that we're putting out good product.
Oh, great.
It's
All right.
super fun.
And you are?
Ty.
Okay, and Ty, your job is tasting, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much. Okay, I got to ask the question. What is the secret to perfect ribs?
You know what? For us, it is slow and low. So we cook our ribs in a smoker at a real low temperature for a long time. Right? So they break down. And down in the south, what they do is right out of the smoker, they eat them.
Right.
What we like to do is we like to finish them off on the grill a little bit to caramelize the sauce on the rib, which gives it that whole extra flavor.